there's another headline that's making waves everywhere from ESPN to OutKick had this last night, that a assistant trainer for the Jacksonville Jaguars has come out and said he's gay. Why is this a headline today?
I don't know. And honestly, I'm starting to see this in a very different way than I've read or heard anyone talk about it. To me, it's becoming more and more homophobic to make this a thing and a story.
Every time?
Than it is
a
everything
first or
else.
Whatever.
Yeah, because I would say that the gay community, trans community, whatever community you want to talk about, what we've heard and read for years is their fight is for equality and to be seen as equal, right? And to not be demeaned or treated any different way in America because of their sexual preference, okay? This is not equality. Hyping a story and putting it on the front page of any media site or newspaper or anything else because of who someone decides they want to sleep with and talking about that should not be a headline in 2023 United States of America. The response to this coach coming out as gay should be mute. Why? Because he should be treated like a human. He should be treated like an assistant strength coach, just like any other assistant strength coach in the NFL. If we've really made progress to this and we really want to be a progressive society that accepts things, then you treat people with the equality they fought for forever and don't make it something special. This goes back to my complaint about seeing something and glorifying it as opposed to just ignoring it or not glorifying it, right? The Texas Rangers decided not to have a pride night. Well, that's not the Texas Rangers saying, I hate gay people, don't come to our Texas Rangers game if you're gay. Don't even bother buying a ticket. They're not saying that. They're just saying we as an organization are choosing not to celebrate this one thing. But we want everyone to come to our games, just like everyone who owns a sports team wants to sell as many tickets as possible. And every NFL team wants to win games. They should be employing the best people possible, whether that be a gay assistant strength coach or a black head coach at some point or a Hispanic offensive coordinator. That's what we all want. All of us that have a brain and some level of compassion want that to happen. They want that true equality. These headlines are not true equality. It's getting to the point where it's almost homophobic. Hutton, if you and I had a guest in here, an African-American, and we pointed out the fact that, hey, as a black man and as a black person, how many times do we have to say that before it came across as racist?
Well, but
so pointing to someone's sexual preference over and over and over again at some point becomes homophobic.
But, whenever it's positioned as, groundbreaking or major announcement in the NFL, it's viewed differently, and it's just because of the importance put behind it. But, again, if we rewound a year, 2 years, we're discussing what's going on in Miami with the Dolphins, and then you have fast forward to the questions that Todd Bowles is getting at Tampa Bay Buccaneers camp, where he's saying, like, I don't view myself as an African-American coach. I'm a football coach. Like, that should be the discussion. That goes back to your overriding point here. And, I honestly don't care one way or the other how people want to live their life if it doesn't affect mine. And quite honestly, Chad, see if you agree. Sports fans, as long as as long as their decision isn't affecting what's going on with your team, my team, by and large, people just don't care. Are you hurting the team? Don't want you a part of it.
Totally agree. And, it's do you want to be equal or do you want to be special?
Right.
I think that people who have fought for whatever rights for years and years, and I'm not talking about just based on sexual preference. It could be based on race, could be based on creed, religion, political affiliation, whatever it may be. That fight has always been about, we just want it to be equal. We don't want to be singled out as something worse than someone else or less than someone else. We just want to be treated as equal. And if you're in a professional setting, you want to be treated as professionals. Judge me on the merit of my talent and how good I am in my work ethic, and if I'm good at what I'm doing, and don't demean me or discriminate against me because of sex or sexual preference or race or whatever it may be. But now we've reached this point in society where it's weird that it's okay to elevate someone because of sexual preference. And I don't buy that. I don't play that game either.
Yeah.
So my reaction to this headline shouldn't be a headline anywhere. Should not be a top story anywhere. I do not care what the assistant strength coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, who he prefers to sleep with.
Yeah.
I don't. I'll never
what
care
he does
about
in his
it.
free time.
And no one else should either. And you know what that is? True progress. That's equality. Because I don't care what straight people think and who they prefer to sleep with either. Now that's where we're getting
Unless
to
it's
somewhere
impacting
that's
your
a
team.
place of equality.
Chad, it was 2014 when Michael Sam was drafted, to what you're saying.
Yeah.
And here we are, and we see the headlines all over the place. And he would admit this too, an assistant strength coach that no one had ever heard of, right? That's the other factor here too. Is it impacting the team or not? By and large, that's what fans and that's what fans of the league or any league or fans of that individual team care about. Is it impacting the overall product on the field? And especially if you're a fan of a major fan, full investment in that one team, is it hurting or helping us? And in this case, it's not doing either because it's off the field and it's his own personal choosing and choice of way of life.
Well, and also I would say this, if it was a situation where the person wasn't doing anything but showing up to work and doing a good job and going about their business, and their sexual preference or them coming out or any of that affected the team in some way, then you should probably take a look at your team.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I mean, that would be my response to that story is then, well, why is that such a big issue if they're not doing anything to be a distraction and they're just showing up and working? Then you probably need to reevaluate the culture of your team at that point. But this is, I don't think this is a story.
Chad.
But again, I'm in the minority because
I agree with you.
every media company
It's
treated this as a big story.
Oh, a top headline.
Yeah.
Groundbreaking.